Hey YouTube, it's Matt here, and I have a nice dilemma to have. I might be at the end of my comic collecting career, if you will. I'm not sure if that's a career, but you know what I mean. Now, what I'm referring to is, as a comic collector, we all have goals. We all have things that we strive for, things that we set out for. I have a list that the piece of paper is wrinkled up. It's years old. I think I made this in like 2004, maybe 2005. It was a list of books that I had wanted to have. And once I got this list, my other goal was just to keep the run going, because I have on here runs. And I want to show you, I want to talk to you about some of these books. I have a Daredevil 181, which if you guys remember back to the early 2000s, that's when the Ben Affleck movie came out. A lot of people trashed that movie and I kind of laughed about it. I didn't hate the movie. I thought it was all right. Couple campy scenes, but for the most part I liked it. So I wanted the death of Elektra. Conan the Barbarian 1, you guys know that I'm a Conan guy. But I'm also an amazing Spider-Man guy. I love Spider-Man. In fact, there are so many Spider-Man books. Spider-Man? Yeah, there's a lot of Spider-Man books in this collection. More so than Conan the Barbarian. I wanted ASM, the Spider-Man movies came out with the first one. They kind of made the scene with the Green Goblin, the death of the Green Goblin. They kind of took from ASM 121 and 122. They put Mary Jane in there and replaced a Gwen Stacy, but that was what the scene was for the first Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire. I wanted those books. I wanted Punisher. That was another movie that came out then. ASM 129. Spawn, black and white. I always liked Spawn. And plus, I wanted Spawn 1 and then Spawn black and white. Okay, number 1. Savage Tales. Just a first appearance of Man-Thing, but more for an early Conan series. I wanted Savage Sword of Conan number 1. I want to have every single Conan book in my collection. Okay, and I still have that. There's a couple Dark Horse ones I'm missing, but I can pick them up literally anytime I want. I'm just enjoying finding them in the wild. I wanted every Spider-Man book. Now that one, at the time, this is early 2000s. It was realistic to have every Spider-Man appearance. Now I was every Spider-Man appearance I was going for. And I have a lot of series there, and not just ASM, but Spectacular and Web of Spider-Man, Sensational Spider-Man, Spider-Man, Peter Parker Spider-Man, and so many mini-series and one-shots that I have in here. It's ridiculous how many I have, but about 2005, 2006, Marvel just put out way too many Spider-Man books for me to get them all, and I just kind of gave up on that. I want the main titles. You know, I want to get ASM, and I don't have that full run, but I've kind of moved on. I did want a Hulk 181, Silver Surfer number 4, Ultimate Spider-Man White number 1, and Spider-Man Batman 13, and I really liked that cover. It was never a very expensive book, but I just love Michael Turner's art, so I wanted that book, and then I wanted Witchblade number 1, because I really enjoy that series. But actually, before I start talking about why people collect comic books, why I collect comic books, where I'm going to go now, I just show you guys a little bit of the books that I was talking about. And this is going to be pretty quick because I kind of talked about them, but here is a Daredevil 181, Death of Elektra. Here's that Conan the Barbarian number 1, which I love that Barry Windsor Smith cover. And I actually wanted this book before I found it at a yard sale. But hey, if I could get it for as cheap as I did, that's great. Here is ASM 121. And I have a couple books here that are on this list that are currently at CGC. And so I am going to be missing a couple. Savage Tales number 1. Now when I say I'm missing them, I just don't have them here in the room. Now this one, I showed my last video. This is the newest addition to the room here. This is Savage Sword of Conan number 1. Love these two magazine books. I do have a Hulk 181, thanks to my lovely wife for acquiring this book. And this is just one of those covers that speaks to me. And this is a relatively new book that I picked it up last summer. I've wanted it for years, but I just never got to it till now. Ultimate Spider-Man #1, the white cover. At the time, early 90s, forgive me, early 2000s, this book was going for $1,000 or close to it. Now it could be had for a lot less. This is just a eyepiece, kind of similar to Silver Surfer 4. I just really enjoy the art. And Witchblade #1, an old CGC label right here. Now, I can see I have a couple other books. I wanted First Appearance of Punisher, I wanted Spawn #1. I don't have these CGC'd. Probably never will. It's not that big a deal to me. But when I first started collecting, my collection really ran what I was reading, what I enjoyed reading. And there's some other titles that I do enjoy reading and did enjoy reading. And for the most part, I've kept my runs going. That's a big thing for me too. I'm a completist. I like to have all of a certain title or series. And that was my collecting. Now I have everything. I don't even feel like I want to quit. I'm not done collecting comics, even though I have accomplished all my goals. My goals have started to evolve. And collecting is a very personal thing. There's no right, there's no wrong way. Everyone has different ways and different reasons that they collect. I have now I'm looking for certain keys, and I have a list, and I'm hitting those comics and knocking them off of that list, and I'm in no rush. This is a lifelong collection, or lifelong hobby. I'm going to be doing this for a long time. And then, if you've ever heard the saying, and we all have, slow and steady wins a race, the tortoise and the hare. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. So I'm taking my time, and I'm trying to get up some keys. And there's some Silver Age keys that I definitely want, a lot of Bronze Age keys. And hopefully I am still doing this YouTube game and years down the road, and I'll show those goals off as I get them. But a lot of people collect for different reasons. Some people collect purely for financial. I know people, they're flippers. They'll buy a book, turn it around, and they'll sell it. And I don't have a problem with that. I don't have one problem with that at all. I don't currently sell a whole lot of comic books. I might start to change that, but I did pay the electric bill and the water bill in college by flipping comic books. I would buy big lots off eBay, and then I would break it down a little bit in smaller lots or single issues, and then I would sell them that way. And I didn't make a whole lot of money off of any individual books or any individual sales, but I made enough to just for a little bit of extra spending cash. I don't mean I literally had to worry about the electric bill, but I just did that for a little bit of extra cash to get me through college. And so I don't have a problem with people that flip, because if you are making money that way, that's a legitimate business. Some people look at those people as speculators, and they look down upon them. And I don't know that that's a fair thing, because we all come into this hobby for different reasons. Emotional is a big one. And without a doubt, I don't want to dig through the books here, but I say that, and I'm going to do it anyhow. I emotionally have an attachment to this book. When I say emotional, I don't mean that it's, I hug it at night or anything like that, which I hope I get a couple joking comments about that. But I mean, I really was drawn to that character, and I really liked it. And same thing with Spider-Man. I was always drawn to Spider-Man at an early age. So there's a little bit not emotionalness, but that emotional attachment to those characters. That's another reason a lot of people collect. There's no good reason, there's no bad reason. It's why we are here. And I hope some of you guys put some of those reasons down in the comments of maybe why do you collect and what do you want to do going forward. But so anyhow, I got these books, and I told you I'm moving on. I want different keys, but it's not just that. There's more to the hobby than just books. That's a minor part. And yes, whenever you get a key book, you do smile. There is a real joy that a person has when they get it. But to me, it's the journey is what I really enjoy. And earlier this year, you guys, a lot of you guys were there along with me, along for the ride. I upgraded this comic book room, and I love this room. I come in here, I get a smile just by walking into this room. And that's now part of the goal. And it's, you know, I get to come in here, I get to organize it, I get to spend time with the books. You know, like every single one of these books, I have bagged and boarded probably 2 or 3 times since I bought it, unless it's a newer book. But I'm talking about the older books. You know, I've spent time with these. And now there's a new part of the hobby that I'm really enjoying, and that's the pressing. I got a stack of books right here I just pressed. I have another stack of books right here that I'm getting ready to press, and it's been taking me a while. I haven't been doing it as quick as I should have, but I'm getting these books, getting ready to send off to CGC, and that's something I'm really looking forward to. Like, okay, now I'm pressing it, I'm grading it. That's something I never knew that you could do years ago. And so now it's, you know, what grade am I going to get? Can I press this again? Can I make this book better? I wonder what the grade would have been before I had pressed it. Another part of this hobby that I'm really enjoying is I found another YouTube channel, and I've been watching Regie Collects a lot. And if you guys, you know, you've heard me mention Regie Collects many, many times. Most of my subscribers, you guys are already subscribers to his channel. But if you're not, please check it out. There'll be a link in the description. But the community that he has created, I talk to people that are his subscribers on a daily basis. You know, whether we're direct messaging each other. I've actually met multiple people in person that are his subscribers. You know, Gibbon Gang strong, woohoo! But that community has really fostered part of my comic book collecting. So that's another reason I keep collecting, and it's another part of the hobby. But the fact that you guys are watching this video right now, this is a part of my comic book hobby right now. It's really more from I need to get these books that I showed you at the beginning to all these other reasons. And the hobby has expanded for me. The YouTube channel, guys, it's fun for me. I get to talk to you guys. I get to talk to different people in the comic book community, whether it is in the messages or Instagram. Like, it's a daily thing, and I so enjoy that interaction that I get to have with subscribers and other members of the community. So anyhow, guys, if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. If you want to see more notifications, hit the notification bell. And guys, don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Hey, this is Matt, and for now, I'm signing out. Have a great day.